It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Time for this week's cup of coffee. And listen, don't go anywhere. Don't add more cream and sugar. We got an action-packed show this week. Unky C, you see the Bagnell Dam Strip come and went. I mean, it looks new.
Yeah, they're doing some good stuff over there. It's really nice.
We'll tell you about that. Hey, the toll bridge demolition coming up. We got another suspect identified and charged in the fatal burglary from a week ago or so. Big Bass Bash winner in the condos coming down with the Oasis Amusement Park.
How about that? That's some huge news right there.
Plus, Fight Night at the Encore. We're going to tell you all about that. Plus, how to win tickets. We're giving away 4 pair of tickets to that. And local high school football final home stretch here and coming. And we're less than 3 weeks away.
Yep, here it
from
comes.
The election.
Playoffs are coming, too, in the high school football, right?
Yeah, I was transitioning to election, baby. Less than 3 weeks away from election.
I know I'm scared because this country's going the wrong direction. I'm really scared of what's going to happen November 5th.
We've told you over the last few weeks all what's at stake, like a lot of that's on the ballot here locally. And after this message from Slumberland at the lake, we're going to have our guest of the week brought to you by Chris Lightco. Get ready to illuminate your lakefront paradise in 2025. It's Jody Widhelm talking about Amendment 3 after this from Slumberland at the lake.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our mega sale. What's that mean? It means great discounts for every room of the house, and we have 0% 24-month financing. So you get the discounts plus 0% financing. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. So come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
So make sure you come by Slumberland at the lake. Now, as I told you on the other side of the break, so many things at stake of the upcoming election. And now I'm fortunate to be joined by Jody Widhelm and Jody Grace. A lot of people know you as maybe Jody Grace Ministries. We actually got your information from the Pregnancy Help Center and Nadine, and this was really important to them. And I know so many people out there, and we really wanted to offer a platform. And so, Jody, we're going to start with, what is the general language? What are they proposing that they amend to the Constitution?
Well, what they're saying, what people are hearing is that this is an abortion amendment, and we want to protect women's rights to choose, especially in cases of rape or incest. And that really is the main selling point, that we need to give women, especially who have been harmed, a right to choose, abortion. And I believe that's their main marketing tool.
Sure, and so many, whether it's amendments or legislation, it's a couple of bullets or selling points you'll see, but then there's these pages and pages packed with different things that may be completely off base or subject to what they're proposing. And so what's actually at stake as far as you're concerned with a potential amendment change?
Right. The truth really is what's at stake is the safety of our families and our children, our women, because it's so much more than just abortion. Actually, this amendment isn't very long. It's about a page. So it's super easy to read, and I'd encourage you to do that. But this amendment actually, even if you're someone who is pro-choice, this amendment removes liability from the doctors and hospitals or any healthcare professionals that would be doing abortions. So, I have some pro-choice friends and family, and when I told them, listen, first of all, this is abortion through all 9 months, even after the baby can feel pain. This is not only in cases of rape or incest. This is legalizing abortion without restriction. And if you were going to have an abortion and something went wrong, you would have no recourse against the doctors to sue anyone. So in essence, because of that, the doctors are going to be able, and it doesn't even say doctor or licensed physician. It says healthcare professional.
It's a vague term.
It is very vague. And that's one of the huge problems with the amendment is the language is very vague. There's a lack of definitions. And because they wrote it that way, it opens the door wide, not only for abortion, but for any healthcare treatment that has to do with reproduction. It's actually not called an Abortion Act. It's actually called the Right to Reproductive Freedom. And it includes, but it's not limited to, abortion. So it opens the door for any reproductive procedures or treatment.
Wow. And so I know down here at the lake is a lot of our audience, but as a state level and across the state of Missouri, I know this is huge in what they're pushing here. So what do you want voters to know as we look? I mean, we're less than 3 weeks away from November 4th, General Election Tuesday,
Sure.
right? And so what is it you want voters to know?
Yeah. Voters need to know that it's not just abortion. It's so much more than abortion. And if this passes, we will truly be putting women at risk who have abortions. This opens the door to even the gender transition field. And there's no restrictions on age. That means our children, our teenagers will be able to get access, because if we restrict them, the language actually says we cannot delay or deny their right to reproductive freedom.
Wow.
So
now,
it's
Jody,
so much more than abortion.
And I know that people might be watching now and they're like, wow, this is a lot. I want to find out more. I want to know more. And so you're up against a time crunch, like we said, less than 3 weeks away. Where can they find out more information or reach out to you or somebody with an organization that'd be able to inform them and get them some info?
Sure. I just encourage you to go to my website. It's Jody Grace, Jody with an I, grace.com. Right there on my homepage, I put it on the first page. You don't even have to click. Off of the homepage, just scroll down. You'll see a lot of links and references, links to the bill or the amendment language, the original text, a marked up copy of the text. I've got lots of resources there for everybody. And we're doing webinars on Zoom every Thursday evening to just be available and to help answer those questions for anybody who would like to participate.
Sure. Well, hey, I appreciate the work that you're doing. Thank you for giving us some of your time. For those watching, make sure you check out Jody's website. There's this and so much at stake with the upcoming election. Tuesday, November 5th, less than 3 weeks away. Jody, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back after we check out what's on Lake TV this Friday night.
Oh, this is going to be fun. It's the second to last game of the regular season, and the Lakers looking to settle a score. Cap City ended the Lakers season with a last-second playoff win last year. Can Camdenton get their revenge this Friday night? It's going to be fun for sure. It all starts at 6:30 with a COMC pregame show. That's 6:30. Kickoff set for 7, presented by Polylift Boat Lifts. Lakers or Cavaliers? Join William Holtz and Mike Bissell Friday night to find out.
All right, so a big issue on the ballot, as you heard Jody Widhelm. There's so many big issues, but a little bit more about what it appears to be may not be exactly what it is as far as what they're telling you the revision to Amendment 3 of the Constitution would be. So great information there, and of course we just saw another big Friday night football game coming up with Camdenton and Capital City, as you saw this Friday.
A rematch of a playoff game last year, which Camdenton had won, and then Cap City pulls off a miracle play in the final seconds and wins to end Camdenton's season. There's some bad blood there. On the coaches show this week, Coach Parpitz was talking about Camdenton remembers that. I mean, they're going in with some serious memory issues this Friday night. So that ought to be a good game. Plus, it has huge implications for the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about that. But hey, for those of you locally, that drive over the historic Bagnell Dam Strip, hey, ever since I've been down at the lake, ever since you've been down at the lake, it's always been a big topic of conversation, right? When you go over the strip, you're gonna run your car into a pothole. The roads are terrible, right? Everywhere. Well, it hasn't taken them long. After many years of waiting, the historic Bagnell Dam Strip in Lake Ozark is being resurfaced. Now, if you remember, this is phase 2, as promised. The first phase was earlier this year and completed as promised, and this project was started last week. I went down Wednesday right? You see some video here, and they had just kind of started. They already had that middle lane, but they were moving quickly. I was back on Monday, and it looked amazing. They're basically done. They just need to stripe and finish it. I talked with Lake Ozarks City Administrator Harrison Fry, and he said it's Capital Pavement doing the job. They're doing a great job, and they should be done this week with that striping and the finishing touches. And he said the cool thing is they used the use tax, 100% of the use tax, to pay for phase 2 here, this entire resurface project. If you remember, that was voted on in 2020 by the residents of Lake Ozark for online, like Amazon and eBay, right, for the sales tax. You didn't used to pay that. Well, the citizens of Lake Ozark opted in for their city, and that money is now funded its first massive project, the entire resurface. And so remember, phase 1, Chris, was JB Hooks to School Road. Phase 2 was the strip down to the sign, right? The top of the strip down to the Ameren Bagnell Dam strip sign. And so you might be wondering, well, that's pretty great. What about JB Hooks and all the way down to the stoplight, right? Where the Denny's used to be and across from the new Casey's. Well, guess what? That's phase 3, and you're not going to have to wait long.
Really?
According to Fry, he said late spring, early summer 2025, that project will get underway. He said now, unless something crazy happens, like a spike in asphalt or concrete prices overnight, he said that bids for the engineering side of that project will go out in the next couple of weeks. So look at that. Phase 1 complete, phase 2, the strip, it's complete essentially, and now they're already working on phase 3. Big win for City of Lake Ozark. Didn't take them long, and it's always good when you see those like projected dates we want to get it done by. You're always going to hit curveballs, right, and have issues arise. They didn't. Here they are. They got the first 2 phases done, and it looks great.
Looks really good, and you know, that's such a key part of the Lake of the Ozarks, the Bagnell Dam Strip. Everybody likes to make a trip down there. It's nice that they're getting that kind of renovated, rejuvenated, and everything down there. Good job.
Yeah, and more to come, I'm sure, there. And we've also been telling you over the last couple of weeks about the toll bridge, right? People are starting to ask, like, hey, when is that coming down? And we had heard from MoDOT they were waiting. We were kind of waiting for a date. Well, we heard back from Danny Rager, who is the area engineer, and it looks like that's going to be happening soon as well.
Yeah, they award it to Gene Hale Excavating. He says we don't have a tentative start date yet, but the contract notice to proceed date is November 4th of this year, November 4th, so that's just around the corner. Work will likely take place through the winter. The completion date is May 1st of next year, so it's going to have to be done between November 4th and May 1st. And the biggest impact, according to MoDOT, to the traffic with this project, 2 separate 4-day periods. Right. So there will be 2 separate 4-day periods where they're going to have to close MM, right? Because they got to like blast out all that concrete and the toll booth there. So those 2 different 4-day closures will mean people are going to have to go back around 5 and 54 the old way till they get this done. But once they get that done, it'll be done. That'll be really nice. Minimum of 2 weeks notice will be given to the public of when they're going to do the closures of MM. So.
Yeah, it was great that they shared that, and they said it will be those closures, like they said, 2 weeks they'll give us the heads up, which we'll pass along to you, but those will start Sunday evening at 10, or Sunday night at 10 p.m. Until 6 a.m. the Friday of that week. So those are those 4 full days, and we'll share that with you guys coming up. They're going to do that over the winter, and as you alluded to, must be completed by May 1st of 25, according to the contract.
Yeah.
So now, as we told you early in the show about the fatal burglary in Camdenton on 7 or near 7, we got some more information as far as the second suspect.
Yeah, a 23-year-old guy arrested in Springfield Monday night. He was the one that got away. The other one that was breaking in was shot fatally. So this all happened Highway 7, the early hours of October 2nd. 911 gets a call reporting a burglary in progress at Colt Tree Service. And most all of us know Colt Tree Service right out there off of Highway 7. So a witness, a guy tasked with caring for the property, reportedly saw a dark-colored vehicle turn off its headlights before coming into the driveway there. He knew something not good was going. According to the probable cause statement, the witness retrieved a pistol, walked from their residence, found the vehicle parked near the office, and then he fired a couple of warning shots, apparently.
That's where I kind of got questions, because not just did he fire those warning shots, it didn't say what the warning shots led to. He just said he fired a warning shot or warning shots, then started firing at the two guys, shooting one, and the other got away. Now, he mentioned he feared for his life, which I get, right? Someone comes on your property, turns their headlights off, two suspects, two weird-looking individuals right at night. I would feel you'd be scared. He gets his gun. Well, when Camden County arrived, they found the one suspect, that 44-year-old Wayman, and they did try to save his life, and despite life-saving efforts, he was pronounced dead at the scene. But that's where we were left hanging, right? Because the other one got away, and there were so many questions, and that was 23-year-old Austin Ripey. And the crazy thing was, did you see the evidence they used to find him?
Yeah, so they GPS data tracked a device from Ozarks to Camdenton on the night of October 2nd with a stop at Senex, Lakers Eagle stop right there on the corner. Surveillance footage from there reportedly showed Rippey with Wayman, and the vehicle matched the description given by the witness. So they had him dead to rights, it looked like.
So that was the first one, right? But then when this information got to Springfield, however, Springfield was there looking for him, and there was a Colt Tree Service bag. It was a Notch Climber's gear bag that belonged to them, sitting in plain sight in his passenger seat. And it's like, well, I don't even know how they would have known to look for that, but they did. He was arrested, taken to Camden County Adult Detention Center, where he's being held on a $250,000 bond, Chris. He was charged with second-degree murder and second-degree burglary, and his next court date is set for November. But, I mean, that was quick work.
Yeah, good job.
Well done. I mean, that's incredible. Like, that's crazy quick. Like, that's almost like, wow.
I kind of found it interesting that he's been charged not only with burglary, which, he and his partner were doing, but he was also charged with second-degree murder. So he, the fellow burglar, is charged with the murder or second-degree murder of his friend who was with him.
So, and I don't know exactly, probably what's about to be ignorant statement from Will, but a lot of time when you flee the scene of a fatal crime or an accident and there was a death, I think you can get somehow tied to or charged with. I think that's why it's a second-degree murder charge. But of course, we'll find out more in November and on to the next court dates. But well done to get him so quick. And I just thought the evidence they used was really efficient, really quick. And the fact they found him in Springfield and got him back like that, well done. All right, so a more exciting story with a happier ending. The Pleasant Hill man wins $100,000 in the fall at Big Bass Bash. Man, we talk about it every year. It comes and goes, and it was Bryce Ryder of Pleasant Hill. Chris, this year, 7.05 pound.
That's more fish he caught in one fish than I've caught my entire life.
But I feel like the winner has been larger than that before. And I didn't go back and look, but that he caught it between the 1 and 3 time slot on Saturday. He wins $100,000 for that one fish. Second place, Clinton Fletcher, was 6.21 pounds. He weighed in at PB2, 20 grand. And of course, third place takes 10 grand. Fourth place takes 5 grand. Austin Baker and Peyton Stump. But that Big Bass Bash, they give away over $300,000.
That is so cool. I'm just stunned, though, at those pictures of how big those fish are. Those are huge fish.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to Big Al and the Anglers in Action Big Bass Bash for those photos you see off of their website. There's no better event that I go to in the means when it all comes together with organization, promotion, good for the whole family, than Big Al and company do with the Big Bass Bash. So another one in the books, the spring and the fall. I'm really looking forward to the spring Big Bass Bash of 2025. Are we finally going to do this darn thing, baby?
Shoot, man. You know what? I'm worried, though. I'm kind of worried about the crappie fishing at the lake because, like in our cove, I hardly ever see. We have fishermen in our cove all the time. I very rarely see them pulling crappie out of our cove. I'm wondering if the crappie population is down, if there's a problem, if something's different going on. I don't know, but just in my little experience, I have not seen a whole lot of crappie caught.
Just because you said crappie, I want to give a shout out. You know our good friends, the Surdykes.
Yeah.
Greg Surdyke, I went out and hung out with them Saturday. They had done a fundraiser for the family of
That's
Felicia
right.
Carson.
Yeah.
They had raffled off a four-wheeler, right? Well, they had drawn for that, and Greg had some crappie because they had canceled their Go Fish tournament. So he fried up crappie, hush puppies, baked beans, his farm-style beans for the entire Carson family and all of us that came out and all of his staff, and they ended up giving $7,600 to him. But you said crappie, and I know there may not be a lot, but Greg Surdyke's catching some crappie.
Wow. I need to get with Greg and find out where he's catching those babies.
He knows how to fry it. So big shout out to him. Of course, they also brought us the homecoming coronation ceremony.
That's right.
Live Friday night on Lake TV. So it's kind of the Surdyke week, man. We appreciate the Surdykes and all they do, not just for us at Lake TV, but the entire community was on full display this weekend, you know.
Yep.
All right, so big story, the condos, Lakewood, right? The resort, Lakewood Resort, those condos, those timeshares, the Oasis Amusement Park. What's going to happen? Well, according to Lake Expo, they kind of set the record straight, which is often the case. And we had been wondering, okay, there's rumors going around, there's no work on the Oasis. People are saying no one's getting paid. And it's like, well, that may be the case, but I was really wondering about the timeshares. Well, I looked at Lake Expo's story, and at that real estate symposium on October 8th, this is where Jeff Tegetthoff kind of revealed everything, right? He said, yeah, we've run out of work until the condos come down, utility complications with the timeshares, and it can't resume until those condos come down. On October 11th, he said he actually owned all 2,548 deeds, and the condos would come down. He said in November, you're going to see more people on the job site than you've ever seen before. They're coming down.
Yeah.
And so,
And this has been the big thing that, you know, they got everything done on the new theme park that they could do until they figured the condo situation out. And apparently the reason is because a lot of the utilities that go to those condos go through where they're building the theme park. So they can't be blasting and tearing that up until they gain the full ownership of the condos. Well, now that they have that, now that Jeff Tegetthoff, the developer, has full control of the condos, they're going to tear them down right away. I mean, that's going to happen this month, I think. And like he said, well, you're going to see more people out there busy and working away on this than ever before. That's been the big, you know, a fly in the ointment that they've been trying to figure out. Well, now apparently they've got it figured out, and things are moving forward. And everything apparently still on track time-wise, because they're expected to open the theme park at the end of 25 next year, and then that new Marriott next door in 26. So apparently all of that is still timeline on track.
yeah, in case you're wondering, like, how did the timeshare acquisition or finalize? Well, in October, liquidating Lakewood Resort timeshares was put to a vote. Now, 100 deeds declined to vote. Those were automatic no votes. And only 12 voted no, which was less than 0.5%, according to developer Tegetthoff. And so that then forced everybody to sell, and currently deed transfers were sent to the remaining owners. Payments were being remitted to the title company, and the demo permits have been submitted. Again, he goes, timeshares are coming down, and you hit the nail on the head with those timelines. They're still promising the amusement park and restaurants late 2025, and the hotel and conference center in 26. So that's what we're going to tell you as far as we know. Great job by Lake Expo. We appreciate their hard work there, and congratulations, I'll say it, to Jeff Tegetthoff. He's been persistent. He hasn't quit. It hasn't been easy. He hasn't always been the most popular guy in the community, and sometimes rightfully so, but he's gotten to this point. The condos are coming down, and you're going to start seeing a complete transformation of that area. You think you see those two needles going up for the slingshot, make it look a little different with those retaining walls? Just get ready, Lake of the Ozarks, for a change. All right, I'm excited about this next one. Fight night at the Encore, Saturday, October 26th. It's going to be great. Knuckled Up Promotions. They've got their 8-man, $10,000 tournament final. There's going to be numerous fights. It's MMA style, right? In the cage, our good buddy Matt Frisk from All Around Movers. He's going to have his first pro fight against Jess Caleb. You see those guys there. I mean, Matt's such a nice guy, right? Look at the guy he's fighting. This guy looks crazy. No offense, Jess Caleb. I mean, he looks like he would just, that doesn't look good, okay? But it's an exciting night. And listen, go connect with us on social media because this week we're giving away 4 pair of tickets. They start at $40 for general admission, so we're giving away 4 $80 pair of tickets. And the Encore, they're doing special room rates for just $99. Go take in fight night. The doors open at 5 o'clock. You can stay at the Encore for just $100. Buy your tickets at knuckleduppromotions.com. And big shout out to Ricky Davidson with Knuckled Up Promotions, hooking us up with some tickets to give away. And of course, our buddy Merlin Vandervoort with the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar. That's going to be a great night.
I think so, especially, right here at the Lake of the Ozarks. You're always kind of looking for something to do, have a fun event. This will be a fun event, and what a great venue. I mean, that Encore is just unbelievable. It's cool.
Can't wait to see what it looks like with a fight set up. All right, new business I'm super excited about, okay? It's Gamers Guild.
Okay.
And Osage Beach, now open. It's behind Charlie Foxtrot's, like in the same building, across from the Elks Lodge there. You're looking for a card shop, right? Games, board games, Magic the Gathering. They've got 300 board games that are free to use, a community gaming station. Like I said, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Narcana, comics, Dungeons and Dragons, even some like video games like old Nintendo and N64 games, and coming soon, Big Red Sports, cards and memorabilia. They'll have a corner inside there. My buddy Neil, tell him that Will sent you when you go and see there, and they're open every Wednesday through Sunday. Chris, they open at noon and their hours vary, but they're open until at least 6 on Sunday and then 8 or 9 the rest of the week. So really cool new business. You see there's comics everywhere. There's some really cool games, and we love Neil. He's such a great guy and a really cool new business that we don't have anything quite like this down here at the lake.
Well, and you're a big sports card guy. I mean, it's been kind of a passion of yours for a long time, so this is kind of right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm actually Big Red Sports, the one going to be putting the sports cards in there, so we'll have Cardinals and Chiefs and things like that, and of course some cool mystery packs for the kids, but just really excited about that, something different, something new. But if nothing else, go by and just check it out and ask some questions. It'd be really cool.
Absolutely.
All right, guess what? It's on the home stretch for the high school football season. You saw our big game coming up with Camdenton, 4-3, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win for them this season. They got the 5-2 Cap City team, as you saw. But how about Osage, 6-1?
And they're in the top 10 this week. Osage has cracked the top 10 in Class 4 at number 10, 6-1. And they've got another big game against Southern Boone this week. And then undefeated St. Francis Borgia next week before the playoffs. So they're really rolling. Coach Shannon Jolly's done an amazing job.
Osage, I think, is going to beat Southern Boone.
I do too. I think they'll whip them.
20+. Osage is for real, man. Don't sleep on Coach Shannon Jolly and the dogs at Osage, baby, because they're rolling. And then, of course, Eldon, man, started 3-0. They've lost 4 in a row. They're going to be at Cali this week.
That'll actually be a pretty good game because both those teams aren't very good this year. So it'll probably be a very competitive game. I'm pulling for both of them, right?
Sure.
It's like I love both of those towns and programs and stuff. That ought to be a good game. I think the game of the week is Camdenton and Cap City on Lake TV Friday
District matchup, huge implications. And while we're talking about Camdenton, we're excited about what's coming up, but you seen what Paxton DeLaurent is doing in Cape Girardeau?
Yeah.
SEMO, baby.
Yeah.
Listen to this, Chris.
I hope he gets a shot at the NFL.
Listen, he very well could. In Division I, of course, his third year, he's a senior. They won 34-3 over at Tennessee Tech. They're the highest they've ever been ranked in program history, 8th in the country at 6-1. Currently, he just broke the school record for passing yards, completions, and touchdowns in the same game, had 418 yards and 4 tutties. Paxton DeLaurent is that guy.
Yeah.
And they are
Remember when we were doing his games at Camden, he was such a great quarterback for the
and
Lakers.
a great dude. So Keep it up, Paxton, down there in SEMO. And of course, there's some great stuff happening on Lake TV. Not just football, there's other stuff brought to you by Chris Lightco on Lake TV. Happy Hour, Weekend at the Lake, and don't forget your coach's show with Parr and Coach Jolly.
Yeah, and Casey and the Round Man on the Community Spotlight Show. Remember them?
Yeah, that'll be great. That and more, check out Lake TV, and thanks for watching this week's Cup of Coffee.